Hey y'all, what up though? I spent a little time down south, but that Detroit straight up been through here. So, I wanted to come back to y'all to talk about my boy Crump. For those of you that are getting to know me, Danielle Latrice, you probably know that Ben Crump is he my new lawyer crush right now. Back in the day, it was Johnny Cochran for those of us that are Generation X, but it's Ben Crump. Ben Crump showing up for Florida. And he's showing up again. But before I get ahead of myself, Florida, they want to take the opportunity for students to take advanced African American history studies out the classroom. Or it's not even in the classroom. But anywho, so he gave him an opportunity. He said February 1st, I'm coming. So it's rocking and rolling as far as I know. The young man that was just murdered by the 5 black police officers, my boy Ben Crump, he's all over it. But now we have Banking While Black in Florida. The great grandma, not even a grandma, because she's 70, great grandma. So Ben Crump, my boy, is on it. They're going after the credit union, right? Because none of it would have transpired had they done what they were supposed to do. I get it. But I have a question, not even a question, because I understand how things work. It's a process. It's you got to might have to get the big fish first, or you push down the first domino and the rest of it'll come. I'm listening to the stories about the police officer who brought himself in there with his hand on a gun. The one who actually took her, set her in the car, did all of what they did to her when she got there, didn't feed her, didn't give her a call for an extended amount of time, took her clothes, and there were several people. The police officer that brought her in, the officer that said she's clean, that he ran her background, the supervisor that kicked her in the shins, all those people that came, that I'm gonna call her grandma, I'm gonna call her granny, her name Miss Stevens, I'm gonna call her Granny Stevens. So all the people that Granny Stevens encountered along the way, that took clothes, that brought her nasty clothes, that kicked her, that left her naked, even down to the man that was standing there gawking her while they had her naked in the cell. That's what I'm waiting to see. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Not even your mama. Ben Crump, he talks about, imagine if it was your mother. And I know we're all different ages and stuff. Your grandma? Not even your grandma. Your great grandma. I remember my great grandma. So we're still dealing with the culture of policing. So my love and support go out to Granny Stevens. She got to be traumatized. She's got to be traumatized. Then they had her a day and a half almost, at least a day, naked, and didn't even give her a phone call. She diabetic. Not even all of, she not even one of those, we got some grandmas, I'm one of them, But we got some grandmas and great grandmas that just look good, fly, like, don't get it wrong, the melanin had the skin looking good. She down in that Florida sun. But you can definitely look at her and see and know that she's somebody's grandma, a great grandma. Like, I mean, I would be like afraid that lightning was going to strike me or something for treating an elder. And she's a school. For those of you out there getting to know me, Danielle Latrice. I'm working on launching my vlog. People that know me say I have an interesting journey, so I'm going to be sharing some of that. But I'm a special ed teacher by trade, robotics coach, dyslexia interventionist, K through 12, financial literacy coach, all of that. Forgot to turn that off. But so y'all did this to my folks. That's why it hit different. Not only is she granny, but she's a teacher. She was an assistant principal. And teachers, one thing about teachers, once a teacher, always a teacher. Like, I was at Whole Foods and the cashier, young man, he was like, "You must be a teacher." I was like, "How I know? How you know?" And he was like, "You just kind of look at," I had my coupons. Like, so she's very well spoken, Miss Granny Stevens. Very well spoken. Like, like not saying that one person deserves better treatment than another, but clearly she was very articulate, well spoken. So one of the things that I've come up with is they had decided that it wasn't gonna happen. For whatever reason, Granny had done got on their nerves, and she wasn't leaving. And so they called the police, because surely $600, if I'm the manager, I'm running something, hopefully I have enough autonomy to make what's right. Like, it wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But they didn't give Granny that money after that teller said. And for those of you that haven't seen the video, I'm new to this, so I want to do like everybody else say. I'm going to put the link down below. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But if all else fails, just Google banking while black or old lady arrested at the bank. So it'll come up. Ben Crump, banking while black. It'll come up. So, yeah, clearly they could have settled that. But whoever was in charge, Granny said something that they didn't like, and they had made up their mind that they weren't finna do that. The man said, "Yes, I have her cash. Yes, we got it. It's here. 4 $100 bills, $620." Like, no. And they still told her that it was going to be 2 or 3 days before it was going to appear in her account. Power struggle. Or not power struggle. I'm going to show you. It might be power struggle. I'm going to show you. So that's what they did. They called the police. And why did they feel like they could just call the police for that? Like, she wasn't wrong. Oh, because she was getting belligerent about her money. Okay, so you gonna call the police, get her out the way, move her out the way. Okay, that's fine. But then a police officer come in. I ain't heard nothing about no trying to talk her down, even if she was belligerent. De-escalating, trying to find out what. I ain't heard nothing about that, but okay. But the fact that he felt okay with, he been doing it. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. If we just do a poll, a survey, People just tell your stories. That officer, and I ain't seen his name yet. Yeah, I said it, I ain't. My mama probably gonna reach through the phone, the video, and pop me for it. But that sheriff that was gonna show her who was in charge and decide to traumatize her, Granny Stevens, been doing this for a long time. All the years he been on the force, him and his buddies, they've been doing it. They've been getting away with it. They've been setting people up. They've been saying, we're not going to feed you. They've been having nasty conditions. They've been talking about, she crazy, we going to send her to the psych ward. They've been doing it and getting away with it. That's why nobody spoke up. Because in certain cultures, when you come in, just like in education, we're gonna get to some good stuff. I got some stories coming up about these teachers getting fired and these students and administrators, all of that. I mean, I've been all up and through that system. K through 12, special ed, regular ed, no ed, yo ed, my ed. This city, Houston, this city, Atlanta, that city, Houston, born and raised in Detroit, your girl about that life. I knows about that education system. But back to Granny Stevens. All of those people that, we talk about police reform, defund, which I think is a horrible word for what it actually, the intention of it. We should have picked a different word. But it still goes back to policing. Because even if he was going to take her to jail, handcuff her, put her in there, take her to jail. Book her, which they fingerprinted her on her way out. So that tells me they just used to doing what the hell they want to do when they want to do it. They booked her. After they dropped the bail, made her wait 3 or 4 more hours. They still in their power. They just gonna do what they want to do up in these systems. Because it's not just that system. It's a lot of these government systems. Whether it's education, whether it's police, whether it's the unemployment office. Just the systems and the structures of, I'm going to say this nation, because this is the only one I lived in, this country. So, yeah, in Polk County, Florida, it's 10 minutes from Disney World, y'all. They've been treating people this way. And I'm just talking the way I want to talk. Because when I was young, I couldn't. When I'm in class, when I was teaching, I came out the classroom because I just stay in trouble. Because I won't conform. That's for another video. But Polk County, I think it's Sheriff's Department. I don't know, but I know it's Polk County. They have been treating people. There was a reporter in Ben Crump's press conference that asked, well, why do we think it's because it's of race, color? Okay, let's take the race card out of it. Why was she arrested? Why didn't the officer de-escalate? Why didn't the person who with the head honcho, boots on the ground at the credit union, figure out a way to make it happen? Take a hit. That's why I stay in trouble, because I take a hit. Make it right for her. If the books don't balance, write a statement. Take a hit. That's what should have happened. Even if there is a policy or procedure, I get it. But real leaders take hits. Okay. Then the police officer comes, hand on gun, he was on some trip, because people can say what the hell they want to say. As a police officer, you come across all kinds of people, personalities, drunks, whatever. She said gun. You told her don't say it. She said it. She was being smart. I mean, at this point, like, I probably would have got smart too. I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You put her life in jeopardy by putting her in a hot police car in Florida, Central Florida. Handcuffs. Threw her on the ground. We took the color out, right? Even if she wasn't black. Let's take the color out. Made her walk around naked. Didn't feed her. Didn't ask her. I'm assuming if you didn't feed her, you probably didn't ask her about any medication that she was on, because I think Granny Stevens said she had, she had some issues. She's 70. Then the credit union, whoever's in Central Florida, you know what? Y'all should take y'all money out. That's just me talking. Who am I? So a lady from the credit union, a representative from the credit union, called Granny Stevens, came to her house, said that that shouldn't have happened, apologized, gave her a $300 gift card. That's all Granny need. She don't need, we'll throw a little change. We'll take care of. They financed her, Granny Stevens' mortgage and her truck. They said, we got you, Granny. We got you. We're going to take care of one payment. Don't worry about it. That money you was trying to pay that house payment, we got you on one. And a $300 gift card. Go to Walmart, Target. Don't worry about it. We're sorry. Said the president of the credit union, hear me. It's all about leadership. He wanted me to come and ask you, find out how you feeling. How you doing? Do you need anything? Straight from the president of the credit union. We don't understand how it got to this point. Why did they call the police? Oh, I forgot that part. They called the police because she was belligerent about her $600. It's only $600. About to be bothered with that. Okay, we're going to call the police. All right. So then the police come, and then he said that he heard, or he thought he heard, that she had a gun. I thought you said, not, ma'am. Do you have any weapons? Any firearms? Are you licensed to carry, ma'am? No de-escalating type of questions. I thought I heard. Then the power trip, the ego kicked in and said, because Granny is like, gun? What you talking about? I ain't got no gun. She probably did get belligerent. I ain't got no gun. Ain't never had no gun. Ain't never shot no gun. What you talking about? Gun. If you say gun one more time, I'm going to arrest you. You know what? Granny probably said it because in your wildest imagination, like, who would get arrested in the United States of America for talking, for exercising their freedom, First Amendment, freedom of speech, to a community service worker, or they call us public servants, teachers, police officers. Our checks are cut kind of from the same folks. We're public servants. We're here to help people. Because I said what I said, you gonna arrest me? I can't wait to see his face on the news. Because you know it's coming. Because Crump is coming. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. He already there. That's who I want to see. And I want to see those women. We're supposed to be a little more nurturing, a little more compassionate, a little more understand. So I want to see who they are. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here because I got some more things to talk about later. But I just have to process this because I'm so tired. I'm like, for real? I got to process. I'm not even done processing. But before I get off of here, again, I want you all to stay prayed up for my legal crush, Ben Crump. Y'all know it used to be Johnny Cochran. Everybody was crazy about Johnny. Well, this is our Ben, like civil rights attorney. Look him up. He did a special, I think it was on Netflix or something like that. But that's when I fell in love with Ben Crump. I was kind of digging his style before, I was seeing him, a couple of high profile, your girl be flicking. But when I really started, I studied him. I went in. I'm done. I'm Team Crump from here on out. If he don't take another case, I'm Team Crump. But he gonna take some more cases. Somebody on my last video, I posted a video, had my Marvin Gaye, Crump is coming, all of that. And somebody, a troll, said, well, why are we just talking about him? He's not the only attorney. His name just keep coming up because he keep just showing up. When they do this, these things that they've been getting away with. Shout out to social media and camera phones. I'm gonna do another search and just kind of get to the nitty gritty of how we've gotten to where we have with it. I was here, but just a nitty gritty, because now we are able to catch a portion of all of this stuff that's been going on. This stuff been going on. That's why they're comfortable. So shout out to social media. Shout out to the inventors of the phone camera. But y'all keep my brother Ben in prayer in terms of his health and strength, because he is definitely running this race. He's picking up. Y'all pay attention. because I was a little concerned. We had our civil rights activists during the civil rights movement in the 60s. We had some people that have been running, like my boy Al. I don't care what you say about Al. Al gonna show up. And at the end of the day, that's what you need. Somebody that's going to show up. Somebody that's going to show up. Uncle Al, I think he granddaddy now. It's going to show up. Jesse, like him if you want to, like him if you don't. He going to show up. But they're a lot more seasoned, a little more slow motion. And so for years, even before all of these actions have been being highlighted on social media, I thought about like, who's gonna be who's gonna be it for us? Like the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons and the Martin Luther King, like, and the Malcolm, like, then I ran across Ben Crump. I mean, we have some others, but today I'm talking about Crump. He's showing up. But, to my troll, when I say, why we just gotta say him. He comes with crews. So I'm piecing it together. I ain't no lawyer. Thought about law school at one time, but pass. When he comes up to speak, he introduces crews. He's partnering with this law firm, probably in that city. This law firm, he got lawyers. He is the face. Now, I'm not saying that he ain't doing work, because boy done put his time in. He's the face. He's telling the stories. He sets it up. He calls it out. He sets up the scene, the stage, tells a story. Boom. He stick his people in there. That's just my point of view. They have their paralegals. They got their people, so he can kind of move and shake and go on to the next that's going to be highlighted, that's being highlighted. Because like I said, we have a lot of things that are going on. And I know for some people might say, oh, why is it always about black, white? And I get it. Some things are overused or maybe not so. However, there's a lot of data anywhere that supports. We have receipts. And I know someone said, well, yeah, nobody, we weren't there. It wasn't us. It was our forefathers. So all of us, we start over, and it's just so many layers to it. It's just so many layers. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I know I said that already. What I want the people to know from Danielle Latrice, I'm coming with a lot of stuff, y'all. It's just time for the overflow. It's just time for it to come out. I feel like I live a butterfly life. And what that is you go into a cocoon, and then as a butterfly's in a cocoon, and then it works, and it has to dig itself out. And once it digs itself out, then it is what you see in a cycle. So you're in the cocoon, you come out, you butterfly. Gotta go back in the cocoon. It's a consecration. It's a type of consecration. It's like an inwardness, Ain't trying to get religious on y'all, But it's just a self-development, working on thyself type situation. But I feel like it's time for some of us to fly, to come out and to talk, to speak up. Because like I said, I guarantee you, if you pull up that officer's caseload, his arrest, and talk to those people. So it's not always about race, color. I mean, it's one human race. It's one race, human race. It's not always about color. It's a lot about socioeconomic status, poverty, because you have a lot of traits or habits or whatever that can come from if you're here or if you're here. So, okay. But regardless, the bottom line is that police officers, and like I said, I'm only gonna speak about for what I know. Oh, my mama gonna get me. Because I'm acting like I don't have those. I didn't go and get educated, but I did, y'all. I'm gonna get it together. I'm just kind of lax. You see, I have on my sweatsuit. I'll use correlating King's English. But yeah, it's just I'm wrapping it up. I don't want to forget anything because I'm gonna keep moving. There's so much going on. I just want to incorporate everything that I have on Granny Stevens banking while black, or getting belligerent. I'm not even gonna say banking while black. I'm gonna say being belligerent while banking. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I would have did the same thing. I done gave you cash money. I didn't even write no check. They couldn't even tell her they was putting her check on hold. But Granny is gonna be okay. Somebody get this to Granny Stevens. We got you. Crump, he leading that team. Those officers, Granny, is not gonna be in vain. It's not in vain. You're gonna help us change how we're policing, Granny, because of what you had to go through. It's all working together for your good. Now I'm gonna get off of here.